Good day, everyone. Today is grade 8 tutor. I'm in the person of Hajima Derek. Today we are going to treat the topic 3, part 2 of it. That is, as we are continuing from where we ended the last time, the kinds of norms. Hope you are getting the point. Great. So, with the kinds of norms, norms can be classified according to their relative importance to society. So, how society deem a norm to be important to them is how we are going to classify it now. We have the folkways and the mores. So with the folkways, they are the norms that when you do not practice, or when you practice or do not practice, you don't face any major punishment or any major consequences. Hope you're getting the point. So the folkways, these are the ordinary usages and conventions of everyday life, which are handed down from generation to generations. So the folkways, they are norms that is expected of every member in the society to do, but it is not insisted. That means when it is expected of you to do, is either you do it or not. And if you don't do it too, you don't attract what any strong punishments or any major consequences with that. So, for example, the folkways can be like you have to wear a pair of shoes that have to match with each that have to match. Here's the case that you are wearing a different shoe on the left foot, you are wearing a different shoe on the right foot. Please hope you are getting the point. So, in as much that you are wearing two different shoes at the same time, you won't be regarded as someone who is criminal or as immoral person, but rather is peculiar. It is not expected of you to do that. Hope you are getting the point. So the folkways norms, they are the norms that when being done, you are not going to face any what regular what, or you are not going to face any strong punishment as to that. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. But with most are the must and must not do rules, meaning that the most are what is insisted of you to do. That means a compulsory norm that is expected of you to do and not to do. So they deem it necessary to the welfare of the society. So how a society value a norm will determine how strong that norm is going to be. Please hope you are getting it. So if a society deem this norm to be strong, or they deem it to their heart or at the center of their heart, in case you violate them, you go or you face a major consequence with that. So for example, like a murder case, or you've committed a murder. If you commit a murder, since the society deem the life of everyone important, if you commit murder, you face a major consequence with that. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. So with the folkways, if you do it, you don't face any major consequence. But with the most, if you commit anything against them, you face a major consequence with that. Please hope you are getting the point. And society can also be classified either formal or informal. Where formal norms, they are the norms that are written down, and its rules and its norms are stipulated that if anyone go against them, that is how they are going to go about their punishment. So the formal norms, they are the ones that are written down and are stipulated rules that govern those who violate what them. But the informal ones, they are the ones that naturally we follow, even though it is not stipulated down or it is not written what down. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. So another way that norm can be classified is the ideal and the real one. So ideally, the ideal norms, they are the expectations of what people would do under perfect conditions. Expectations of what people would do under perfect conditions, meaning that what people is expected to do if they get to the perfect condition in every aspect of their life. So for example, you are expected to alight at the red what at a traffic light if it turns red when you get a car. If I hope you are getting, not necessarily that you get a car, but it's expected of you to what, to align exactly when the traffic light turns red. Hope you are getting the point. But the real norms, they are the ones that expect the ideally or the ideal norms is what is expected that everyone should do when they get the perfect condition. But the real norms or the practical aspect is we are not doing so. Hope you're getting the point. Great. So values are elements of culture. When we talk of elements of culture, we know that culture is a whole thing. It constitutes some things comes together to form a culture. Hope you're getting the point. So the values, they are the socially shared ideas about what is good, right, and desirable. Hope you're getting the point. So the values are what society deems it to be important, good, and desirable. Please, are we good? Great. But when with the real norm, as I explained, the ideal norm, that's expectations to what people will do when they get the perfect condition. But the real norm specify how people actually behave. Hope you're getting the point. Yes, even though we want the ideal aspect, but we are not getting it. And you have to know that in this way, you never get something, everything at the perfect condition. Hope you're getting the point. So the real norm talks of how specifically people actually behave. So instead of the red light to stop, there's some drivers can even pass around or pass by even if the traffic light turns red. You get it? In ideally you expect us to stop. You get it? But the real norms means that you pass around or you don't alight immediately the red light what comes on. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. So with values, as I explained earlier, the values are ideas which is considered important, worthwhile, and desirable. Hope you are getting the point. So with values like for Ghana or for this country or any country you find yourself into, for Ghana specifically, you have to respect the elder or you have to respect the elderly. Please hope you are getting the point. It's a value, and then we value it to the extent that if you go against them, you might you might be regarded as disobedient or as disrespectful because it's a value that we deem it as important. Please hope you're getting the point. Great. So with sanctions is another element of culture or society's culture. And sanctions are not always something regarded to that if you do something wrong, we are going to punish you. No. We have a positive sanctions and a negative sanctions. I hope you are getting the point. So sanctions are penalties and rewards for conduct concerning a social norm. So it does not only constitute you doing something bad, but in case you follow the norms of the society, you can be awarded positively. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. So the sanctions, as I said, you have the positive sanctions that is awarded for conformity to social norms. It can be what? A medal or a gratitude. In case you do or in case you conform to the social norms, the society can tell you that you well done. Hope you are getting the point. Great. But if you go against or if you don't conform to the social norms, you face negative sanctions. That is whereby you are expected to pay some fees, you are being faced with threats, and also you can be in prison. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. So sanctions are not always regarded as punishment to not conforming to something, but it can also be what? Award, or you can also be rewarded to conform to what? Social what? Norms. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. So I've explained everything here, and then sanctions are dependent on culture's values and priorities, meaning that how a society what, how a culture of a society is, how they value their culture determines how strong the sanctions will be, either positively or negatively. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. So if you deem it something important to you that okay, that is how valuable I value it, or how the society value it. In case you go against them, they will place a strong sanctions or a strong negative sanctions on them so that it will discourage anyone who wants to do that because they deem it what valuable to them. Hope you are getting the point. So the most cherished values will be mostly heavily what sanctioned, as I already explained earlier, and matters regarded as less critical will carry what light and informal what sanctions. Please hope you are good to go. Great. So with the cultural universals is talking about practices that can be found in every culture. Please hope you are getting the point. Practices that can be found in every culture, but as to how they are executed varies. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. So, if, for example, you can find a language dressing is found in every culture. Every culture has or executes language or have this thing in common. Language practices, dressing. But how they execute, how it is being executed, it varies from culture to culture. So that is what you have to understand with cultural universal. It means that practices that can be found in every culture. So in case you find the practices in this culture, you can also find this same practice in another culture. But as to how they are carried, how they are executed, it differs or it changes or it varies. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. So sorry, I've explained everything. So example of cultural universals, as I already said, the language, the bodily adornment, the family, cooking, funeral ceremonies, yes, religion, food taboos, and a whole lot. Hope you are getting the point. Great. So these cultural practices may be universal, but the manner in which they are expressed varies from culture to culture. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. So in as much that we have the same practices, how these practices are carried out in our culture is different from someone's own what culture. Please, I hope you are good. Great. So when we move to ethnocentrism, so when you talk of ethnocentrism, it's a tendency to assume that one's culture and way of life represent the norm or are superior to all others. So when you talk of ethnocentrism, it's when you believe that your culture or your own culture supersedes every culture, or your own culture is the norm, whereby you feel that every other culture is what less what value to your own culture. So it's whereby you strongly believe that okay, my culture supersedes everyone's culture. You brag about it, you talk much about it. Hope you are getting. So that practice is called what ethnocentrism. So referring to one's culture as the best and that superior to others. Please hope you are good to go. Great. So with ethnocentrism, it is mostly found in isolated societies. When you talk of isolated society, they are the societies that do not get into contact with other societies and their cultures. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. And then it comes with the functions of it, you see to it that it encourages group pride. Yes, to be honest, it encourages group pride. It enhances the patriotic sense of people and fosters solidarity. Please hope you are good to go. Great. So however, ethnocentrism can encourage racism. Hope you are getting the point. Hostility and conflict between groups. Because here's the case that you think that your culture supersedes or is superior than anyone's culture. Some other cultures can't accept that truth. So it brings conflict. Hope you are getting the point. Yes. And it results in unwillingness to see the need for change. If you always think that you are the best, you always think that you don't have or there's no need for you to change. Well, please hope you are getting the point. Great. And it tends to devalue groups and contribute to the denial of equal opportunities. If you always think that you are the best, you think that everyone's own is inferior, and then yours is the good thing. Always you devalue other groups, and then you don't see the need to what to have equal opportunities with different cultures as well. That's the effect, or how that's the negative aspect of what ethnocentrism. So with ethnocentrism, the first one is ethno, and then this one is exno. So with the ethnocentrism, you deem it that other people's cultures are superior to yours. So it is the reverse of ethnocentrism. Please hope you are getting the point. So with ethnocentrism, we believe that ours is what? Our culture is superior than others. But with ethnocentrism, we believe that other people's cultures are what? Superior to others. So as I said, it is the reverse of what? Ethnocentrism. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. So with this, we deem it that other or our own culture is inferior, and then we deem others own to be superior than ours. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. We move on to what? Cultural relativism. That is, it views people's behavior from the perspective of their own culture. That is, if A is studying the behavior of B, he analyzes the behavior within B's own cultural context. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. So here's the case that with cultural relativism, when we are viewing other people's culture or when we are studying the people in different cultures, we are actually going to explain their behaviors in the context of their cultural practices, not yours. Please hope you are getting the point. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. So with cultural relativism, okay, with cultural relativism, so for example, let's say you have entered into the society of B, and then you are seeing the practices of B. You don't have to use your own culture that you are to explain or to analyze the behavior of culture B. No. When you are studying culture B, you have to use their own cultural experience, their own way to explain why they are behaving that. Please hope you are getting the point. Yes. So cultural relativism therefore places priority on understanding other cultures than diminishing them as strange. So in as much that you get to other people's culture, instead of you to deem it as something strange. No, you don't have to deem it as something strange. You have to study in the context of where they are, not in your own context. That's in your own culture. Please, if you are getting the point. So it therefore employs value neutrality in society in scientific what study. Please, if you are getting the point. Great. So with cultural relativism, it stresses that different social contexts give rise to different norms and what values. Yes, and then the practices of another society, as noted by this concept, can be fully understood only in the terms of their own norms and values. So you can understand the practices of one society not in your own culture or in your own context as to your own culture or norms, but rather in their own norms and what values. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. So with culture shock, when you talk of culture shock, so for example, let's say you are from Ghana and then you go to a place like Japan. They have a food called sushi, meaning that eating raw or fresh fish. Instead you know that for Ghana we we always, after getting the fresh fish, we don't eat fresh fish just like that. It has to be cooked. It has to go through some processes to get the right meal that you want. But in Japan, the women they take a fish out, they can start eating it. We call it sushi. Yes. So you when you go to that place, you feel a shock, like wow. So these are the foods that they are eating as compared to your own culture. We call it culture shock. So for example, yes, say for in Ghana or in your society for Ghana. So let's use Ghana for example. In Ghana, you can't raise your voice at your parents. You can't you can't beat your parents. You can't tell them that mommy, what the hell? You can't use those words. You can't use those vain words. But when you go to other countries, other societies, whereby you see young children or young kids speaking to their parents like that, you be like, wow. If it was to be in Ghana, you'd have collected 30 slaps. You get it? So those experiences are called culture shock. This is a feeling of surprise, uncertainty out of a place. That is experience when people witnesses culture practices different from their own. Is Sophia getting the point? Great. For the culture lag, the cultural lag is it's, for example, you see how people were used to behave in the early 18th and the 19th, and then right now we are moving into the technology world. They have to what adapt. So cultural lag is refers to the period of maladjustment when the non-material culture is still struggling to adapt to the new material conditions. For like the ethics of using internet. Hope you are getting the point. How people are going to adjust from their old ways to their new ways or to the new system. That is called what? The culture lag. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. And the call of cultural integration. When you talk of you integrating, it means you are trying to integrate different cultures into your own, resulting in something harmonious and cohesive. If you are getting the point. So it relates to bringing together of conflicting cultural elements, resulting in harmonious and also cohesive whole. Hope you are getting the point. Great. So as for you being able to understand that that is how you have to integrate other people's culture into your own to make up something harmonious and cohesive. We call that what? Cultural integration. Please hope we are getting the point. Great. Then we move on to cultural assimilation. It is a process of exchanging one culture for another. Exchanging one culture for another. So with cultural assimilation, so with this, they are just what? Exchanging one culture for another. So for example, in case an immigrant from China moves to the US and then stops speaking their Mandarin, that's their language, dresses in American fashion, and follows American customs. So there has been an exchange of culture. Please hope you're getting the point. Great. So with the next one that is talking of cultural accommodation, it is a situation whereby two groups are able to ignore some important cultural differences between them and emphasize common interest instead. So for example, maybe Ghana follows both traditional and Western marriages. So couples can choose the type that fits their culture. Hope you are getting the point. Great. So with the accommodation, we are just accommodating. Accommodating, that is, happens when two or more cultures coexist while they are maintaining their distinct what identities. So instead of fully adopting to another culture, the people adjust to live harmoniously while keeping their own what traditions. Please hope you are getting the point. So instead of you to just ignore your own, you are accommodating them so that even though as you are accommodating or as you are what adjusting to live with the others, you are maintaining what your own. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. With subculture is a segment of society which shares a distinct patterns of modes, folkways, and values different from the pattern of a larger society. So, for example, we are having KNUST as a whole, and we are having KNUST School of Business. So, our culture and the way we dress and our everything that we do is different from the whole aspect as KNUST. So, even though the society or the main society is what KNUST, but KNUST School of Business has its own folkways, values, and modes that they follow. Hope you are getting the point. So it is different or is distinct from the larger what group or the larger society as well. So for example, the Katanga Hall Association within KNUST as a society. So Katanga Hall, they have their own way of doing their own things as to come with the association. Even though they are in what a society called what KNUST as a whole. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. So with the counterculture, this relates to a subculture that conspicuously challenges the central norms and values of the prevailing culture. So it rejects societal norms and values and seek alternative lifestyle. So it is therefore a subculture whose values, norms, and lifestyle are fundamentally at odds with the dominant culture. So instead of us to have, you see, even though we are having KNUST as a society, and KNUST School of Business has its own patterns that they follow, but fundamentally we have a common norms that we all follow. But here's the case that KNUST School of Business or KNUST any hall association ignores the dominant culture and they are trying to find for their own what norms and patterns to follow. We call it counterculture. That is whereby they want their own culture and they are ignoring the dominant one. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. And then we move on to understanding the ideal and the real what culture. So the ideal culture is the norms and values a society adhere to in principle. So ideally, we always say that our norms is we don't accept corruption or we hate corruption. But real culture will let you know that we practice it. So ideally, in principle, we hate corruption or we don't what like corruption. But in real norms or in real culture, you find out that even though ideally it is stated, but that's what we are doing. Hope you are getting the point. So the ideal culture is what one that we adhere in principle, but the real culture is the norms and values a society adheres to in practice. So even though we have the principle one, but practically this is what you do. I hope you are getting the point. Great. So we move on to the high and popular culture. So the high culture is a creation of relatively profound and serious nature that primarily appeal to and supported by a fairly group a fairly small and light what group. And a popular culture are the creations that are relatively less serious, less intellectually demanding nature that appeal to and supported by a large audience of typical members of what the society. So if you're getting the point. So with this, with the high culture and the popular culture. So with the high culture, it is typically enjoyed by what high class people or upper class intellectuals. Hope you're getting the point. So it is just serious nature that exists for only the upper class and the intellectuals as well. So it's like a group of business executives attends a performance at expensive theater. So you see, with this culture, it is only enjoyed by high class and upper class people. Please hope you get to the point. But with the popular culture, is the one that is easily accessible and enjoyed by the people of all social classes. Hope you are getting the point. So that's how, or that's the that is the difference between the high and the popular what culture. With the high culture, it is enjoyed by high class people, but with the popular culture, it is very accessible for every or for each and everyone to enjoy from all aspects of what social classes. So it's like a group of friends watches the latest Marvel movie at what a cinema. This one is highly enjoyable. Here's not the case that this one is business executive that has to go to an expensive theater. You see, this one is just to be enjoyed by the upper class people, but the popular one is easily accessible to everyone. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. So culture change. Are cultural values and norms static? No, they change over time. As society improves, culture and values and norms, they are not static, meaning that they are not used over and over again. It changes over time. In most societies, this is fairly slow. Culture tends to be inherently conservative, especially in the non-material aspect, but it is changeable. So at times, in as much that it can be slow, it is still changeable. It can still be changed because culture, as we are improving into the technology aspect, we cannot be using our normal way that we operated earlier in the 18s and the 19s. Now we can still what change because societies keeps on changing. Values and norms are not static, they change over time. So if you are getting the point, great. So culture change. There are three different social processes that can lead to culture change. First is discovery. When you discover that there is the new perception of this, there's always a change. What brings change most importantly is discovery. If you don't discover a new perception of something, you always be using the old thing. So as it says, this relates to a new perception of an aspect of reality that already exists. Hope you are getting the point. Yes. So what brings culture to change is when they discover something new or a new perception of something that already exists. Hope you're getting the point. Great. So for example, the former culture is how we used to prepare fufu. You will be pounding it with mortar and pestle. But right now, there's a new perception of that reality. That is, we can even prepare fufu without pounding and then what? Disturbing ourselves. Hope you are getting the point. You can use machines and the rest to prepare it. Hope you are getting the point. Great. So if you want change to come to a culture, there should be a discovery of something or of a reality that already exists. It's not just a discovery, but a new discovery, a perception. Please hope you're getting the point, please. For instance, if scientists unravel a new function of the heart, or sociologists unraveling new functions or dysfunctions of the religious institutions. Yes, yes. So if you discover a new perception of something that already exists, there's discovery and there's a need to change. We hope you are getting the point. Great. And then inventions. There is a combination of new or this is the combination or new use of existing knowledge to produce something that do not exist before. If you're getting the point. So if you invent something based on what you have, and then it comes out to be something that has not come into existence before, society tends to change or culture tends to change in accordance to that. In as much that it can be slow, it is still changeable. Please hope you are getting the point. Yes. So inventions can cause culture to change. And then diffusion. Diffusion is the spread of cultural elements from one culture to another. So this is probably the source of most cultural changes, whereby it can be performed from borrowing from other cultures or people with different cultures migrating to a society. Hope you are getting the point. So if you get people from different backgrounds migrating from different societies, it can change how societies do what operate their own thing. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. So as I would say, are humans prisoners of cultures, or are humans prisoners of culture? Yes, I would say, because culture into which we are born influences our sense of who we are and what our goals in life should be. We are prisoners of culture because it is the culture that is actually shaping us into who we are, what our goals in life should be. You get it? So, however, humans are not prisoners of culture. Culture makes us, but we also make culture. So, with my understanding, I said yes, we are prisoners. Hope you are getting the point, because it shapes us. But one thing that you should note, that however, humans are not prisoners of culture. Culture is existing because of what? People or society. And society exists because of culture. So culture makes us, but we can also make culture. Hope you are getting the point. So you personally, you can accept the fact that yes, we can be prisoners of culture because it's culture that is shaping us. But we are not just prisoners because we can also shape culture. Please hope you are getting the point. Great. I love the way you are enjoying this section. So it sets certain limitation on our options and behavior, but it cannot completely control us. So even though it sets us, or even though it helps us to shape us in some certain way, but it does not 99% or 100% what control us. So hope you are getting the point. So ideally, I accepted it to be yes. But in as much that we can be prisoners, we can still change culture. So we are not just prisoners of culture, or we humans are not prisoners of culture, because culture makes us, but we can also make culture. Hope you are getting the point. Great. So you can understand it from these two dimensions. So this brings us to the end of our lesson for topic 3 for culture. And then we will proceed in the next video for what? Socialization. So this is grade 8 tutor. Do well to subscribe and also share as well for your friends to get a better understanding. Thank you very much and have a nice day. See you in the next lectures. Bye bye.